Hola, welcome again, and buenos dias, or it's buenos tardes really now, isn't it?
Buenos noches.
Yeah, it's getting that way. We're actually in another, like a cloud forest. This is actually quite an interesting river. There's another little river down there, stream, which isn't keeping us awake, this one. But we came up yesterday, drove up right over the top of the Continental Divide again, over a mountain, the Cerro de la Muerte,
Yes.
which is
Mountain
the
of the Dead.
Mountain of the Dead. And this is this sort of area they call the Valley of the Dead, not for particularly nasty reasons, but because people have actually died of the cold here, because
The locals actually call it the fridge.
the fridge, and it,
You see, I've got my scarf on.
yeah, it can. I've got a top on. It can get quite cold. We're in it, one of those other little microclimates. As I said, it is a bit of a cloud forest. I don't know. You probably can't see the clouds are rolling in on and off today. And I've just thought of something. It hasn't rained today.
The last
Wow.
day, the last proper day, and it hasn't rained.
Hallelujah! But what have we done?
We got up very
This
early.
morning, we got up. If we were saying to Alan, our guide this morning, anyone at home would think we got up at 4:30 this morning in the freezing cold. It was bloody freezing. To go and try and potentially see a bird, and a very elusive bird by all accounts as well. The resplendent quetzal. I think or quetzal, sorry. I think we mentioned in the video that we did at the
The place before.
Yeah, the place before. It's that lovely place before. It's been a long day. So we got up. It was still dark.
Very cold.
And drove up the hill to a little viewing platform type of thing. And within quarter of an hour, there was us and there was another small group of people there, all deadly quiet, watching, waiting. We were right in the middle of this valley, and this sort of viewpoint looked over the valley. So we were looking across the valley, expected to try to see these birds in the trees above.
Bright green, but
And then
and
some-
quite large,
yeah.
but nevertheless we thought, whoa.
Yeah, and then 10 minutes
what are we
later,
doing?
one appeared in the tree in front of us.
Yeah.
Yes, and then two more appeared in the tree in front of us. And as I say, there's quite a, we've been very, very lucky in lots of ways on this particular trip, coming here in the first place, obviously. But actually seeing 3 of these birds at the same time, males, females as well. So that was quite something, although it did get very, very cold. And then we've been out for a walk this morning down by the river here, down to the waterfall. Once again, quite an amazing forest, and then came back for hummingbirds. I mean,
beautiful.
actually this place, if you are interested in ornithology in any way whatsoever, I mean, I'm perfectly honest, I am to an extent, not a huge man. I'm a member of the RSPB and have been for a while. But don't take it anywhere near as seriously as some of these people do. But this place, I've never seen so many different birds in all of my life. There was the vultures and everything like that. This morning, sitting at breakfast, and what did we see?
A toucan!
A little emerald toucan.
Another day, another toucan.
Yeah, we've ticked off, if you want to put it that way, all the different types of toucans. And this one's beautiful, actually, as the name suggests. It's green, but the different colours on its round, its beak and everything as well. It's the smallest of the toucans, just sitting there in the tree, quite happily posing for us,
And
wasn't
that's
it?
the interesting thing. I would have said before I came here that I wasn't particularly interested in flora and fauna, but you come here and you get caught up in it.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful.
I mean,
You can't help
you
it.
can't, as we said before. I mean, we go on all
Stop
these
in the
walks. We go on all these walks, and we actually see more wildlife around the hotels and the lodges that we stayed in, or in places like this. So who knows what we'll stumble on in a minute. But because, as Julie said, it's all there. I'm just looking over there because it's one of those plants that the hummingbirds can go to. And watching them this morning in this garden, they're fascinating. All different shapes and
Tens of
sizes.
them,
Yeah,
aren't they?
loads and loads of them. And I said that's one of the things that's been great about this. The wildlife is just so abundant. It is there. You can't avoid it. Okay, you can miss it if you're not looking, and you do, because you've done that, haven't you?
Yes.
You-
You can look but not see.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
once you get an eye for it, then you start spotting things, and then you can't help yourself, because it's what this country's all about. It's fascinating, and they're now aware that that's what this country's all about. So they're looking after what they have.
Funny enough, on that topic, actually, I saw something earlier on Facebook by someone at home putting something about the climate change and all that sort of thing. And it's one thing I was thinking of earlier while we were walking, actually, is that I and we are certainly now aware of the sort of carbon footprint that we've got because of the travelling that we're lucky enough to do. But this country, if it wasn't for the tourism, that comes here, and the people like us and all the other people that we've met and come to places like this, these places wouldn't exist. The forest wouldn't be here now. It's partly because of tourism, and mainly because of tourism now, that the conservation efforts and that are actually going on. All the eco lodges like the Esquinas Lodge that we stayed in, carbon neutral, that is there for people like us to come along. I know that's not a particularly good argument, and I know I'm a hypocrite in that respect, that flying 11 hours to somewhere that's an eco-tourism area.
But the fact is that tourism is replacing the way that communities around here would have, well, not looked after their wildlife, isn't it? They've realised that by looking after what they've got, people will visit, which will give them an income. So it's flipped over.
Yeah, so that's great. I mean, tomorrow we head off to San Jose. Our last day. We're stopping off at a little village apparently on the way. We're not sure exactly what's going to happen there yet. So that's just about it. But I mean, we may well not do another video. So if we're not going to do another video, how's it been for you?
I knew you'd say that.
Put you on the spot.
I knew you'd say what was your favourite bit, and all of it. We were actually talking earlier on about what would you change about it, or which bits weren't so good, or. But honestly, it's been such a fabulous thing to do, and friends of ours who've said it's on my list put it at the top.
Yeah.
Because it's different to anything else you've ever done.
Bring an umbrella. Be prepared to be on your guard for different things. They'll be made out about the dangerous animals, reptiles, etc. that are around. They're around. Believe me. You know, anything that's sort of coloured red or whatever, like these plants behind me, they're probably toxic in some way or other. So, but it is. But go with a guide. I mean, Alan, our guide, has been brilliant.
Go with a knowledgeable guide.
And so we're with a company as well. And I must say, Juan, our driver, who's been absolutely brilliant. He came with us to Quetzal spotting this morning, and he gets just as excited and as we do. Yeah, they are. I mean, that's the thing.
They should be.
Very proud of their country, very proud of their wildlife and everything that's here. And as Julie said, so they should be. So that's just about it from here, I think. Who knows? Well, we do know where we're going next, but we'll leave you in suspense for that. Somewhere equally exciting next year. More carbon footprints. Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
So that we can do this for you.
I have bought a smaller car that doesn't need car tax because of the size of the engine. Does that make me any better?
No.
I'm not sure it does. Anyway, I've just got one thing to say to Julie. Feliz Navidad.
I hate you. Pura vida.
We'll explain that maybe another time. Anyway, buenos dias.
Adios.